Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for watching another video with us. This video is about a very special ingredient that is used in Kashmiri cooking. इसका नाम है वर टिक्की मसाला. ये टिक्की मसाला जो है इसमें it's a combination of all the main Kashmiri masalas that are used in Kashmiri cooking. तो इस टिक्की में सारे वो मसाले जो कि कश्मीरी कुकिंग के खास फ्लेवर्स देते हैं वो सब इसमें होते हैं. तो चलिए देखते हैं कि वो कौन कौन से मसाले हैं. My masala dabba, which is a very basic 5 to 6 ingredient spice box, which basically help you into tasting that Kashmiri flavor that is so inherent in every Kashmiri dish. So my masala dabba has asafoetida, which for Kashmiri Pandits is a must because they do not use onion and garlic in their food. Then the sund or the ginger powder, fennel seed or the saunf powder, the beautiful Kashmiri lal mirchi powder, without which no food is complete. And then I have Shahi Zira here, which is used very differently than our regular Zira, and a little mix of cardamoms and cinnamon and long, which I use as and when required, depending on what dish I'm making. So that's my most basic spice box with which I almost create any Kashmiri dish that I cook at home. So this forms the base of that flavor that you taste in Kashmiri food. Now, coming back to what I was talking to Rushina today about the word tikki masala, that is the magical Kashmiri tikki spice uh, uh, tikki that Kashmiris use a lot, which has these all of these spices that you see that go into it. I've divided them into two. So tikki masala is something that ladies would get together and cook in the summers so that they could use it throughout the year in their homes, whether it is winters, whether it is in a dish or as it is, because it has the composition of the entire spices that one would use in one dish. So 1 tablespoon of that in any dish gives you a flavor burst of all of those spices. Now, the Kashmiri Muslims use garlic and onion. The onion they use is very special because it is the mountain onion, which is called pran. This is a key ingredient of the wazwan also. So it's like shallots or like your spring onion. The onion part of it is used. It's very potent. So it's not used like we would use our regular onion, but probably in the half of the quantity. The other ingredient that the Muslims use is garlic. So garlic and the onion together form your wet paste that binds all the dry spices together. Now, if a pandit were to make the tikki, they would not use the garlic and the onion, but they would replace that flavor with hing mixed in water. Again, that would become your wet ingredient to bind the dry ingredients. And of course, all of these are put together with mustard oil. So no water goes into it, but how you make atta with water, you make this tikki with oil and the paste of garlic or the onion or the hing dissolved in water, or maybe the kesar dissolved in water, or if like today I'm using the red chili powder I'm showing you, but if it were Kashmir and if it was not the lockdown, I would show you the red chilies, the dry red chilies whole that would be pounded. And then the other ingredient is the mawal, which is the cockscomb flour. That is again a must in Wazwan. So this I had sourced on my last trip from Kashmir as a powder, but this, if you see, this is the actual flour, and the actual flour is used in the cooking of the Wazwan. But if I were to use it, I would probably use the powder here. And again, it's something that's comes in phase two of our spices, so it's not a must, but if you have it and to accentuate further your cooking, that can be added. Same goes for kesar. It's something, again, a very key ingredient of the wazwan, but not your regular cooking. It's like something that's more like, adding value to the whole thing. So this also, mixed with a little water, dissolved in water, can be added in the end. Now, coming to the dry spices which form your main crux of the tikki, of course, the dabbas, the masalas that were in my dabba, the sund powder, the soft powder, the hing if it were without the onion and the garlic, the red chilies, of course, the others, the shahi jeera. So all of these, if I had a chance, they would be fresh, they would be whole, they would be roasted a little bit, and then grinded in a mortar and pestle. And the whole spices that are in our homes that are used in the tikki are, of course, elaichi, moti elaichi, choti elaichi, that's the black cardamom, the green cardamom. You have an option of using just the chilka, because the chilka, like Ushina said, has the oil, the essential oil. Also, the flavor is much more subtle, so it keeps, the tikki keeps cooking as it stays together. The all the flavors keep coming together, keep coming together. So these subtle spices, when used in limited quantities, work better than just pounding it with, bombarding it with strong flavors. So I feel like the chilka, some in this case, works better for both the elaichis. Then the other spices I would put in are the black pepper, whole black pepper, the cinnamon stick, the long, all of these pounded, of course. So first, all these dry ingredients, the spices would be roasted, pounded, and then you would combine them with the wet ingredients and knead them together like atta. So the paste of these two would go in first, and then I would use the oil as water to bind them all together. Then, of course, you can top them off later with some jeera or the kesar or the maval as required. All the vazas have different techniques. All the ladies in the houses, when they make it, have different techniques. They have different choices for flavors. Some would like the seed of the elaichi, some would like the chilka. So, of course, the recipe changes from house to house. Sometimes it's really basic. It would not have the kesar, not have the maval, not have that, and just use a basic spice mix to create it. Also, when the pandits would make it, they would use in, because this, the garlic and the prawn together add consistency and, give the body to the tikki. So if that is not there, then you could use urad dal. The pandits would use some quantity of urad dal to create that consistency and to mix everything together. That forms the basic of a Kashmiri tikki var masala, also known as such badi, which is the urad dal version without the garlic and the onion. So that was a little sneak peek into how the masala tikki is created. You have this available online also, or wherever you'll find Kashmiri community. You will find some source of getting some ingredients that are Kashmiri. So, and coming to how you use the tikki is because it's a potent mixture of all the masalas together. Once you're cooking for 3 to 4 people at home, all you need to do is add probably a teaspoon of the tikki masala mixed into water, dissolved into water, and added into the dish. It's usually done after or in the middle of cooking and not before. Definitely not needed to add it to the tadka, because, like you see, nothing is really kacha in this. It's all coming together because it stays in your fridge for a year, for आराम से 1-2 साल तक ये चलती है. um, so how you would use it is put it in your any dish to add that flavor punch to it, just by 1 teaspoon. And like you see, this tikki that is here, this is a ready-made tikki, but about these many quantities of things would create this itne size ki tikki. But usually back home, when the ladies would make it, they would make huge quantities, at least start with minimum a kilo. So तो इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा जो इंग्रेडिएंट जाता है वो लाल मिर्ची का होता है, तो उसके साथ फिर बाकी चीज़ें जाती हैं जो 200 ग्राम 250 ग्राम इस हिसाब से. ये कम जाएगा बिकॉज ये स्ट्रॉन्ग है, सून स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो वो कम जाएगी. बट flavors which are more aromatic, उनकी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है डालने में ज़्यादा, like the chilkas or the soft, those are put nicely. The लाल मिर्ची जो कलर का बेस बनता है, because it's not spicy, that's why also the quantity is more of the red chili powder. I hope this gives very little insight into what the masalas, the Kashmiri masalas look like, and what forms the base of a Kashmiri tikki. Of course, there's lots more in this. Each ingredient has its property, its nature. It's sometimes the freshness of the ingredient also that creates the magic, because it's created in somewhere where all these ingredients are readily available and are fresh. They're just sourced fresh, so that when you make a tikki and it lasts a year, that freshness जो है वो बरकरार रहती है उसकी उसी वजह से. So that's it. So I hope this video was informative and it gave you an insight into what Kashmiri masalas and Kashmiri cooking is like. To keep watching the channel, I'll be sharing more such videos, food videos and travel videos. Keep liking them, and if you're enjoying them, please do subscribe to the channel also, so that I can keep making these videos. Thank you.